Namaste, this is Samta Auntie. In this video, we are going to review 3 adjectives that you learned in class to help you build your adjective vocabulary. The 3 adjectives we're doing today are light, nice, and deep. Light is halka. Nice is acha. And deep is gehera. Again, light is halka. Nice, acha, deep, gehera. Now that we've learned these, let's do some practice problems. This is a nice house. What is nice in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Acha. For most people, mountains are heavy, but for Hanuman, when he carried the Sanjeevani to cure Lakshman, the mountain was as light as a feather. What is light in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Halka. You can find whales in the deep blue. What is deep in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Gehera. His backpack is so light he can run with it. What is light in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Halka. This is a nice suit. What is nice in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Acha. The map was buried deep inside the treasure chest. What is deep in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Gehera. For avocado, the weights are light. What's light in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Halka. Nice shoes. What's nice in Hindi again? Halka, acha, or gehera? Acha. She found a sunken ship deep in the ocean. What's deep in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Gehera. Wow, what a nice anarkali she's wearing. What's nice in Hindi again? Halka, acha, or gehera? Acha. She wanted a light pink dress for her wedding. What's light in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Halka. His mom told him to dive in the deep end of the pool. What's deep in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Gehera. Nice car, lady. What's nice in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Acha. She wore a deep pink gown to the royal ball. What's deep in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Gehera. He packed his backpack light so the hike would be easier. What's light in Hindi? Halka, acha, or gehera? Halka. Now we're going to do more practice problems, but without the words so we can test your memory. This is a nice house. What's nice in Hindi? Acha. The mountain was very light for Hanuman. What's light in Hindi? Halka. What's deep in Hindi? Gehera. He has a light backpack on. What's light again? Halka. That's a nice suit. What was nice? Acha. She wore a deep pink gown. What's deep? Gehera. The weights are light for avocado. What's light again? Halka. Nice shoes. What was nice again? Acha. She found a sunken ship deep in the ocean. What's deep again? Gehera. Wow, what a nice anarkali. Nice in Hindi is? Acha. She wanted a light pink dress for her wedding. What's light in Hindi? Halka. His mom told him to dive in the deep end of the pool. What's deep in Hindi? Gehera. Nice car, lady. What's nice in Hindi? Acha. He packed his backpack light so the hike would be easier. What's light again? Halka. The map is buried deep inside the treasure chest. What's deep? Gehera. Let's review these adjectives one more time. Light is halka. Nice is acha. And deep is gehera. So now let's build on this. Now that you know the vocabulary, we want to use it to speak Hindi. In order to do that, we have to cover a few topics. And if you don't need to review these topics, then you can skip ahead to the practice problems. The topics we are going to cover are: what is an adjective? What is a noun? The correct order of the words. What is inflection? How to inflect adjectives. And finally, we'll do some practice problems. First, let's review what an adjective is. An adjective is a word or words that describe things. A word or words that describe things. What does describe things mean? How do we describe things? Well, we use our 5 senses. Our sense of smell, our sense of sight, our sense of touch, our sense of hearing, and our sense of taste. For example, we can describe the way something smells like a rose. The rose smells nice. Nice is the adjective, and the thing it describes is the rose. Or we can describe the way something looks, such as a waterfall. That's very beautiful. Beautiful is the adjective, and the thing it describes is the waterfall. Or we can describe the way something feels, such as a soft teddy bear. Soft is the adjective, and the thing it describes is the teddy bear. We can also describe the way something sounds, such as the sweet song of a bird. Sweet is the adjective, and the thing it describes is the song. And lastly, we can describe the way things taste. For example, a yummy cake. Yummy is the adjective, and the thing it describes is the cake. In this video, we practiced 3 adjectives: light, nice, and deep, or in Hindi as we call them, halka, acha, and gehera. We said that adjectives describe things. Well, what things are these adjectives describing? If you look at the pictures, light or halka describes the weights that the man is holding. Light or halka is the adjective, and it describes the weights. So we can say light weights. Let's look at the next one, nice. The word nice is the adjective that describes the car. We can say, that's a nice car. Next, we have deep or gehera. Deep is the adjective that describes the pool, and we can say, that's a deep pool. So adjectives describe things. Now let's take a closer look at what those things are. Those things that adjectives describe are called nouns. A noun is a person, a place, a thing, an animal, or an idea. There are literally nouns all around us. For example, your bestie. Is the bestie in this picture a person, a place, a thing, animal, or idea? A person, right? The bestie is a person, and that's a noun. What about the water park? Is it a person, place, thing, animal, or idea? It's a place, and that's a noun. What about video games? Are they a person, place, thing, animal, or idea? Video games are things, and they are nouns. Here's another example. Her pet turtle. Is the turtle a person? No. Is it a place? No. Is it a thing? No. Is it an animal? Yes. And it's definitely not an idea. It's an animal, which is a noun. And his idea for a play. So idea, is that a person, place, thing, animal, or idea? Well, this one's sort of an obvious ulu question because we already said that it's an idea because it's an idea for his play. So we already know that this one is a noun. So as you can see, nouns surround us. Nouns are everywhere. And now that we know what adjectives and nouns are, let's review the order of the words when we're using adjectives and nouns in Hindi. Thankfully, the order of the words in Hindi is the same as it is in English. The adjective goes in front of the noun. What I mean is, do we say yellow car or car yellow? We say yellow car, right? And the same thing goes for Hindi too. In Hindi, yellow is pila and car is gadi. So to say yellow car, we say pila gadi. But wait. Pila gadi is not quite correct. We have to change the word for yellow, pila. We have to change it a little bit. And to understand how and why, keep watching this video to understand. But for right now, what you need to know is that the adjective comes in front of the noun. So it's pila gadi. And in a few minutes, you're going to learn how we have to change that word pila to make this correct. So let's do some practice with the three adjectives that we practiced today. Halka, acha, and gehera. To say light weights, it would be halka weights. And for nice car, it would be acha gadi. And for deep pool, it would be gehera pool. Now, for the acha gadi example, we actually need to change the word acha a little bit. And that is also similar to the one we just did where I told you that we needed to change the word pila a little bit. So that leads me to the next thing that we're going to talk about called inflection. So in just a few minutes, you're going to understand how the word pila and the word acha need to be changed. So let's talk about what inflection is. Inflection means that the ending of a word changes. Let me say that again. It means that the ending of a word changes. But what does that mean? Let's look at an example. Again, inflection means that the ending of the word changes. And you've actually seen this before. For example, look at the word toy. And there's also the word toys. See how the two words are almost exactly the same, but toys has an S at the end. That change from toy to toys is called inflection. Now, English doesn't have a lot of inflection, but Hindi has a ton of inflection. Let's look at a Hindi example. The Hindi word for boy is ladka, and the Hindi word for girl is ladki. So see how the two words are almost exactly the same except for their endings. That's inflection. In Hindi, every adjective that ends with an a sound inflects. Let me say that again. Every adjective that ends with an a sound inflects, or the ending changes. We learned these three adjectives today. First was halka. Does it end with an a sound? Yup. Therefore, it inflects. We also learned acha. Does that end with an a sound? Yup. Therefore, it inflects. And last, we learned gehera. Does that end with an a sound? Yes, it does. So that one also inflects. So all of these adjectives end with a and inflect. And that applies to all Hindi adjectives that end with an a sound. Okay, now that you understand what inflection is and which adjectives inflect, let's look at each of the three adjectives we practiced today to determine how they change. How do they inflect? Well, halka can inflect to become halki, or it can inflect to become halke. Acha can inflect to become achi, or it can become ache. Gehera can inflect to become geheri, or it can become gehere. So the question you're probably asking yourself is, how do you know which inflection to use? There's so many. Each of them has like 3 different inflections. How do you know if it should be halka weights, halki weights, or halke weights? Well, to understand that, we have to revisit nouns for a second. We already talked about what a noun is. But did you know that in Hindi, there are noun categories? There are actually 2 noun categories. One is called pull, and the other is called stri. Pull nouns are male nouns, and stri nouns are female nouns. And in Hindi, every single noun falls into either one of these categories. Every person, every place, everything, every animal, and every idea belongs to either one of these categories, either pull or stri. But wait a second. So that means even things such as a car or a place like the Taj Mahal fall into the pull or stri category? Yep, that's right. Even cars and the Taj Mahal will go either into the pull or the stri category. So in a way, when we're speaking Hindi, we have to ask ourselves, for nouns, is this a Mr. or a Mrs. noun? Is this a Mr. car or a Mrs. car? How do we know which noun category is proper for car? And don't think to yourself, well, I'm a girl, so for me, car is stri. That's not how it works. Each noun is already assigned to one of the categories. It doesn't matter whether you are a boy or a girl. What matters is whether the car is a pull noun or a stri noun. So the question is, how do you know if a noun is pull or stri? There are 2 simple rules to follow. If the Hindi word for the noun ends with an a sound, then usually it is a pull noun. And if the Hindi word for the noun ends with an e sound, then usually it is a stri noun. Now let me clarify. I didn't say if the word ends with the letter A or the letters EE. That's not what I said. I said if the word ends with an a sound or an E sound. And it's very important that you remember that. So let's repeat those rules again. If the Hindi word for the noun ends with an a sound, then usually it is going to be a pull noun. And if the Hindi word for the noun ends with an e sound, then usually it's going to be a stri noun. Now, why did I say usually? Well, because there are some nouns that don't follow these rules. There aren't a lot of them, but there are some. I won't worry about those right now. For now, what you need to remember and what you should go by is that if the Hindi word for the noun ends with an a sound, it's pull. And if the Hindi word for the noun ends with an e sound, it's stri. Now that you know how noun categories work, let's look at the yellow car example again. In Hindi, yellow is pila, and car is gadi. Pila is the adjective and gadi is the noun. Pila describes the gadi. So we have to ask, is car a pull or a stri noun? Well, use the rules we learned. Does gadi end with an a sound? No. Does gadi end with an e sound? Yes. So then it is a stri noun. Okay, so now that we know that gadi is a stri noun, then which inflection of pila should we use? Would we use halka, halki, or halke? Well, since the noun is a stri noun, we use the stri inflection of the adjective, which is halki. So then yellow car would be pili gadi. Pili gadi. So, and this should make sense to you because the ending of the words are so similar, like they both end with the E sound. We have pili and gadi, right? So there should be consistency. So that should be something you should be thinking about when you're like, oh, wait a second, which inflection do I use? Well, look at how your words are structured and say to yourself, does this match up? Does this all sound right together? Like pila gadi doesn't sound right because one ends with an a and one ends with an e. Okay? Now, again, let's be very clear. These rules that we're talking about for adjective inflection only apply to adjectives that end with an e sound, with an a sound. Only applies to adjectives that end with an a sound. Okay, it's important you remember that because as you get more advanced in Hindi, you're going to learn a lot of adjectives that don't end with an a sound. And you're going to have to learn how to deal with those in sentences. But for now, we're just working on adjectives that end with an a sound. So remember earlier when we had the yellow car example and we said pila gadi, and we said that's not quite correct and we're going to have to change something? Well, now you know how to change it. It's not pila gadi, it's pili gadi. So here are the rules for how to use adjective inflections. We use halka for singular pull nouns. Singular pull nouns. Singular means one, when we have one object. Okay, one noun. Halki is for singular and plural stri nouns. So for all stri nouns, we use halki. And the third form, halke, we use for plural pull nouns. Plural means when you have more than one noun or more than one object. And in this example, I'm using the word halka, but these rules apply for all adjectives that end with an a sound. All right, so let's do now acha. Acha is for singular pull nouns. Achi for singular and plural stri nouns. And ache for plural pull nouns. And now you can probably put together how it would work for gehira. For gehira, we say that for singular pull nouns. Geheri for singular and plural stri nouns. And gehere for plural pull nouns. Now, did you notice a pattern in the endings of the adjective inflections? The adjectives end with an a to start, such as gehera, and then it inflects to geheri with an e sound at the end, or to gehere with an a sound at the end. And that format of inflection applies to all adjectives that end with an a sound. So as you can see, in Hindi, adjectives and nouns are truly a couple. They are married to each other. They depend and they need each other. But wait a second. The noun category rules that I told you apply for nouns that end with an a sound or nouns that end with an e sound. But what if the noun doesn't end with either one, such as bag or pool or ghar? None of those end with an a nor an e. If the noun doesn't end with an a or an e, then what do? How do we know if it's pull or stree? Well, we just have to learn them one by one and memorize them. And I know that sounds difficult, but the more you practice and use your Hindi, the better you'll get at it and the more it will stick to your brain. Now let's do some practice problems. This is a nice house. We want to say nice house in Hindi. First, which adjective is nice? Halka, acha, or gehera? Acha. Okay, awesome. Now let's walk through the rest of the steps. First, let's figure out what house is in Hindi. House is ghar. Is ghar pull or stree? No idea. Doesn't end with an a, doesn't end with an e. So I'm just going to tell you, ghar is a pull noun. So if ghar is a pull noun, let's figure out which inflection of acha to use. Let's look at the chart. Acha is for singular pull nouns. Does that one seem correct? Well, is ghar a singular noun? Yep. Is it a pull noun? We just said it was. So there you go. The correct inflection is acha. So to say nice house in Hindi, we would say acha ghar. Let's do another one. This is a light mountain. We want to say light mountain in Hindi. First, what adjective would we use? Halka, acha, or gehera? Halka. All right. Now, how do we say mountain in Hindi? Pahad. Is pahad pull or stree? No idea. Let's apply the rules. Does pahad end with an a? No. Does it end with an e? No. So I'm just going to tell you. Pahad is a pull noun. So if pahad is a pull noun, let's figure out which inflection of halka to use. Again, halka is for singular pull nouns. Does that seem correct? Well, is pahad a singular noun? Yes, it is. Is it a pull noun? We just said it was. So there you go. The correct inflection is halka. And we say halka pahad, means light mountain. Let's do this one. You can find whales in the deep ocean. We want to say deep ocean in Hindi. What's the adjective? Halka, acha, or gehera? Gehera. All right, let's learn what ocean is in Hindi. It's samudar. Is samudar pull or stree? No idea. Does samudar end with an a? Nope. Does samudar end with an e? Nope. So I'm just going to tell you, samudar is a pull noun. So if samudar is a pull noun, let's figure out which inflection of gehera to use. Again, gehera is for singular pull nouns. So is samudar a singular noun? Yes. Is it a pull noun? Yes. So there you go. The correct inflection is gehera. And to say deep ocean, we say gehera samudar. Okay, next one. His backpack is light. We want to say light backpack in Hindi. So what's the adjective? Halka, acha, or gehera? Halka. Hopefully you're getting the hang of this now. Let's learn what backpack is in Hindi. This is an easy one. It's backpack. Is backpack pull or stree? No idea. Does backpack end with an a sound? Nope. Does it end with an e sound? Nope. So I'm going to tell you that backpack is pull. So if backpack is pull, which inflection of the adjective halka should we use? Which one is for singular plural nouns? Halka, right? So to say light backpack, we say halka backpack. Next one. This is a nice suit. We want to say nice suit in Hindi. What's the adjective? Halka, acha, or gehra? Acha. Now, let's learn how to say suit in Hindi. It's just suit. Is it plural or three? No idea. Does it end with an a? No. Does it end with an e? No. So I'm going to tell you that suit is pull. So if suit is pull, which inflection of acha would we use? Take a look at the chart and see if you can figure it out. And you should ask yourself, is suit a singular noun? Yep. Is suit a plural noun? Yep. So which one would we use? Acha. And to say nice suit, we say acha suit. All right, next one. The map was buried deep inside the treasure chest. We want to say deep map. What's the adjective? Halka, acha, or gehra? Gehra. Let's learn what map is in Hindi. It's naksha. Is naksha a pull or three noun? Well, it ends with an a sound. So it is a pull noun. Naksha. It ends with an a sound, so it is a pull noun. So if naksha is pull, which inflection of gehra do we use? We need the one for singular pull nouns. So we use gehra. And to say deep map, we say gehra naksha. All right. Now let's do nice shoes. What's the adjective? Halka, acha, or gehra? Acha. What's shoe in Hindi? Jutta. Is shoe a pull or three noun? Well, it ends with an a, so it is a pull noun. But we aren't doing shoe, we are saying nice shoes, plural. So what are shoes in Hindi? Jute. Is jute pull or three? It's still pull. Just because we added more shoes doesn't change whether it's pull or three. So jute is a pull word. So nice shoes are achhe jute because now we have plural pull nouns. We have plural pull in this case, right? Because we have jute, shoes, not juta, shoe. So we have plural pull. So now to say nice shoes, we say achhe jute. All right, let's do this one. Wow, what a nice anarkali she's wearing. What's nice in Hindi? Acha. And how do we say anarkali in Hindi? Well, that's a Hindi word. So we just say anarkali. Is anarkali pull or stri? Well, it ends with an E sound, so it's a stri word. So now, if anarkali is a stri word, which inflection of acha would we use? Well, which one of these, look at the chart, which one of these is for three words? Achi. Achi we use for singular and plural three nouns. For all three nouns, achi. So to say nice anarkali, we say achi anarkali. Wow, that was a lot to learn and a lot of work. By knowing adjectives and nouns and how to use them, plus by building your vocabulary, you will now be able to speak much more and better Hindi. Great, great work. Dhanyavad for joining me. Keep practicing this, and I'll see you in class.